Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. This is It's Your Healthy Lifestyle show, hosted by the founder of this platform, Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and myself, Roland Friedl. How important is your health and fitness to you? We show you how you can easily eat healthier every day, how you can improve your fitness and recover much quicker after your exercises and workouts. Families will learn how to optimize their children's health and nutrition. And finally, you will also hear how you live a long, healthy and fit life into your old age. Join us here on It's Your Healthy Lifestyle.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. We proudly provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Our show today is It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. Joining me is the star of our show. His name is Mr. Roland Friedl. We're just discussing backstage that we've actually been doing TV shows together for 3.5 years. The time really goes by quickly. What's so interesting about Roland is, as a successful entrepreneur, a man who really believes in helping other men, leading by example, is that he is living a wireless life, and his wireless life really rocks. And you'll find out more about that. But he's also a big advocate for clean and healthy living. Let's welcome him to the program. Welcome, Roland Friedl. Hello.
Hello to JACALYN. Hello to our audience. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us. Hello.
Hello, hello. So where are you joining us from today?
I'm joining from the south of Italy, actually from the island of Sicily. I'm on the south coast of Sicily, so in Italy, in Europe.
Must be very beautiful there.
Yeah, it is. The island is beautiful, to be honest. Yeah, really. The only thing is, it's a lot of garbage around here. I don't know. I don't know how they organize it. It's a lot of garbage around. That's the only thing that really annoys me a little bit. But the island itself is beautiful. There's a lot of architecture, a lot of culture here. People are very friendly, and the food is just amazing.
Love the food. Well, speaking about food, we are on It's Your Healthy Lifestyle today. I know you're going to be talking a lot about not having back pain, but can you give us a little bit of background about how and when you started focusing on your own health and being an advocate for others and their health?
Well, when I started for myself, it was actually in my early years, because when I was in my 14, 15, I was doing a lot of sports. I was playing professional, I don't know how to say in English, handball. So it was always important for me to stay fit by workouts. But I also found out through a mentor that avoiding injuries during my sports time, the food intake is also very important. I didn't know that, but I learned it. So he showed me some studies. And when I was quite young, I said, okay, you have to eat this and this. But to be honest, it was never a big issue for me, because my mom always told me that when I was a kid, I was never interested in candies or something like that, or just meat and veggies. So I was never a sweet guy. It changed the older I become. So I love sweets now, but yeah, it was always important for me. I always was doing sports. And the other thing is, I saw people, especially from in my childhood, my grandparents and other things, how they suffer when they become older. And so I was always doing research how to stay fit and healthy as long as possible. Yeah. And what can I do? What is my own responsibility? What can I do on a daily basis? And as I said, fitness and especially and health, both, not only be fit, because it's not the same. Health is one thing, fit is another thing. But staying fit and healthy is so important for me. So I said, okay, I do it on a daily basis. A little bit, what is practical for my lifestyle. I'm now 60. I feel just great. I'm not suffering from any pain. I don't take any medication, any pills or anything. A supplement, of course, but yeah, I stay away from doctors because I don't need them. So yeah, I'm happy for that. And to work with people actually it started around 30 years ago when I was 30. People came to me and said, "What are you doing on a daily basis? You're fit, you're active, you're focused." And then I started giving lectures, actually worldwide. In the beginning, I was traveling a lot, doing nutrition lectures. I started promoting a product, what I find is very, very supportive, and I still take it since over 30 years. And yeah, but I don't do lectures anymore on nutrition, to be honest. But it was a cool time. I was working with thousands of doctors worldwide together. I could educate hundreds of doctors in nutrition because they told me it's not a huge part in their education university. So it was an amazing journey. I learned a lot of money. I tried out different diets from vegetarian, veganism, carnivore, keto, frugivore. So I tried different diets to make my own experience, because to be honest, actually, I only share with my audience and my clients only things that I experienced by myself, not something that I heard or read about it or saw. I always tried out first by myself, and so I can speak from my own experience. Yeah, I'm very into it.
I really appreciate that. That's fantastic. So if someone has a healthy lifestyle, it's still possible they could get injured and hurt their back, whether it's on the job or working out. Sometimes just putting on socks, I've heard people say they felt a twinge in their back. But you have some tips to help people know about how they can take extra steps or maybe extra time so they don't have back pain. Can you share some of those with us today?
Of course, and also my own story, because I was for many years I've never been suffering of back pain or a headache or something like that, and I was always wondering, because I was always reading articles in health magazines that back pain is the number one issue why people see a doctor. I didn't understand this because luckily I was never suffering from back pain, but it happened to me around 10 years ago, I guess 10, 11 years ago. I remember I was in an ashram. Meditating in an ashram for 5 or 6 weeks. I don't remember exactly. It was on a Paradise Island, Shivananda ashram. And I was sitting hours and hours sitting. And actually, I will come to this later again. Our body is not made for sitting. And I was sitting and sitting and sitting. And then I guess after 5 or 6 days, I became a back pain. It was really terrific. I couldn't move. Actually, I was camping there. I brought my own tent in the ashram, so I was lying on the floor. I was also not used lying on the floor, because no, I've used 5-star hotels or four plus star hotels. So I was lying on the floor and sitting all the time, meditating the whole day, and it became a bad day, and it was horrible for me. And so it was my own experience. Oh my shit! Sorry, how really painful it is, and how you're suffering when the pain is. And then I found out that so many people are suffering from back pain, but there are some things you can avoid it. And I will also bring what helped me in this urgency on this island, because I was really thinking I have to travel home because I cannot sit anymore and meditate. But a friend of mine, a therapist, I called my therapist, he's a very good friend of mine, a therapist, and I called him and he gave me some tips for immediate help. And to be honest, I don't remember, it's 11 years ago, but I guess after 3 or 4 days after practicing these 2 tips, I got rid of my pain back. Yeah. But I will bring some tips. Yeah. But I was suffering from it too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's debilitating. I know I was in a relationship with someone who he hurt his back, and he was literally on the floor, like doing his work. He was lying on the floor with the papers, doing what he was doing, and he ended up getting cortisone injections into his spine. So I know that that's something that people will do also. So are your tips today basically focused on prevention, or are they holistic? Can you tell us more?
Okay, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a medical doctor, okay? So I only talk from my own experience. That's what I'm sharing here, okay? I'm not a medical doctor. When you're insured, please see your medical doctor, first of all, okay? That's a very important disclaimer here on USA Global TV and Radio. I just share what helped me, and I know what's good to prevent. I will talk more about prevention, and I will also tell you what helped me 11 years ago in this ashram when I was really and a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. So I have more or less 8 tips that are what I found is that are very, very important. First of all is, I guess what the most important thing is in general, to avoid back pain from the beginning is, and I guess you will agree, Dr. JACALYN, is strengthen your core muscles. That's the most important thing. Strengthen your abdominal, your core muscles. So your core muscles are supporting you, the rest of your body, your bones, your joints, and your disc, and so on, and carrying the upper body weight. Because if you don't have enough core muscles, all the pressure goes to your joints and especially to your disc, and then it's clear. And especially when you have overweight, my gosh, it's not occurring from the beginning, but it's time after time it will come that you feel pain. So number one is strengthen your core muscles. That's so important. And I'm 60 now, and to be honest, the older we become, the more important it is. And I'm not going to the gym for 3 hours and working out, no, but I do on a daily basis 15 to 20 minutes, working always on my core muscle and stretch. So this is very, very important. Number one, core muscle. I don't know what your experience is, Dr. JACALYN, but I guess core muscle is profound and it's critical.
Yes, it is. In fact, I go to Solid Core. I'll be celebrating my 1000th class on Friday. The core is everything. Although the core and the back, if you have weak stomach muscles, you can work on that. There's a lot of things that you can do. If we could show exercises, that would be great. But I do know that the fitness classes that I take at Solid Core and other places, a lot of the focus is on strengthening the core.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'm a man, before I moved into my motorhome, when I was living in Ireland, I went to the gym for 3-4 times a day. And for me, it was really cool working, with the kettlebells on my arms, on my chest, and on my legs. And then I remember there was a trainer. And it came to me and I said, Roland, I just watched you a couple of times. Are you working on your core muscles? Yeah, I do, but not really very much, very often. He said to me, why? He said, because I don't like it. I said, okay, when you don't like it, that's a sign you have to do more than that. So he really encouraged me to work on my core muscles. And actually, it doesn't look so cool to work on core muscles than lifting heavy weights, especially as a man, when you impress somebody else in the gym. But I learned to work on my core muscles. And my ex-girlfriend at the time, she was doing an incredible workout at home at our finger, 2 hours just working on a core muscle. She has an amazing core muscle, but she does it because she was suffering from their different martial arts and ballet so she was suffering from back pain. So and she also told me core muscles. So core muscles are absolutely critical, absolutely great. It's not very cool, but especially when you don't like it, that's a sign that you have to work out more on your core muscles to really build it up. Because I don't know, Jacqueline, what your experience is, but as I build up my core muscle, now it's fun to train my core muscle. But it was really not funny because when I missed it a little bit. So core muscle is critical. It's one thing. Second thing is stretch daily, on a daily basis. Even if you don't have time for a workout in a gym or at home or whatever, stretch daily. At least 10-15 minutes. Stretching is so important. And even when you're older, like myself, it's even more important. So most of part of my workout is stretching. A lot of stretching. It's so important. Really moving around, and you can do it on a chair in the office, stretch around like this. I'm sitting here on a chair too, in front of my camera. So I just run around for my hips, and you can turn your shoulders and stuff like that. So stretching, moving is so important. And this brings me from the beginning when I said when I was experiencing this amazing back pain in the ashram. And I called a friend of mine because I knew he's a therapist. And I said, Harry, please help me. I don't want to fly home. It's so beautiful here. I want to keep on my meditation, but I'm suffering from back pain. I said, well, what happened? Did you insure yourself? I said, no, but maybe I'm not used to sit 6 hours in a row in a lotus and meditate. And I said, yeah, you're Roland, and I know it. Your body's not made for sitting there. The human being is made for walking. And he gave me 2 stretches. And this was really, really simple stretches. And for me, it was a miracle, to be honest. And I give you one example. I kind of demonstrated in front of the camera, but it's so simple, so I can explain it. So lay down on the floor, or even in bed. You can also do in bed, especially when you feel a backpack in the morning in the bed. So flat, just flat. Lay down on the back, flat, just flat, even. And then stretch away one leg. Doesn't matter if you start with the left or right. Stretch it away. So you're flat on the ground and stretch away your left or right. Doesn't matter where you start. I would suggest you start with those one where the back is. Mostly it's on the left or on the right side, mostly, especially in the lower back. And stretch. So when you have a pain in the lower back, and I had that problem on the left, my left side in the lower back, I was stretching my left leg like crazy for minutes, long time, stretching it and then release it. And then the other side, just stretch it away, just bring it away, the whole leg and the feet, bring it away, stretch it, release it. And I did it for 15, 20 minutes, I guess every 2 hours or something like that. This was one thing I did. And the second thing is what really helped me is lying on the back, bring your knees to the chest. So when you lie on the back, bring your knees to the chest, hold your knees with your arms, and then whip. Whip, and then you move and whip on the back, and really whip on the back. And this also helped me. So these 2 exercises was just a miracle for me. And I guess about 3 or 4 days of daily practicing, and the pain was gone and never came back. What I also did is what I found out, because it was quite warm in the Caribbean at the time, is I didn't drink enough water. So water intake is also very critical, because for your disc, that you don't dry out. So it's a lot of liquids, but most people don't drink enough, especially water. So water intake was very critical too. So stretching is number 2. Number 3 is, I already mentioned it, is avoid sitting in a poor posture. I know that most of us are working in the service industry, meaning blue collar workers or farmers, most of us. So we're just sitting in front of a computer and maybe in a bad posture, and maybe your back is going more round and round on it, and maybe you feel pain in the neck. So sit in upright position and get up as often as possible. So avoiding poor sitting posture. And generally, I have to be honest, I hate sitting. I walk all the time, most of the time. Not here when I broadcast, but when I'm on the phone with clients, and I walk a lot. JACALYN, with my dog. I do a lot of dog walks with my dog here on the beach 3 times a day. In the mornings, in the evenings, in when I make a break. What I do is, because I have a good back and a good core muscle, more or less, I use a weight vest. That's what I do when I walk my dog. That strengthens my core muscles too. But I highly recommend using a weight vest only when you're in a good condition. So meaning that you give an extra on your workout or on your cardio, but don't start with a weight vest in the beginning. Please don't do it, because you hurt yourself more than ever. That's one way. Number 4 is take walks. As I said, walk. Our human body is designed for walking long distances. 10, 15 miles a day. I know it's not practical, because when we're doing our job, but our ancestors, and actually not so many years, so many 200 years ago, we walked 10 to 20 miles a day. This was normal. And I remember my dad, he told me that he walked to school every day, summer and winter, snowing or heat, doesn't matter. He was walking 10 miles to the school in the morning and 10 miles back. Yeah. Every single day. There was no bus, no transportation to bring him to school. So this was normal to our grandparents, to our parents. So it's not so long ago. that we are sitting on a desk in front of a computer. So as again, our body is designed to walk. And so what I hear also from friends who are suffering from back pain is they say, hey, as soon as I get up and I walk for half an hour, the pain is gone. So walking is so healthy for your back pain. So getting up, first of all, sit up in a good posture, upright. Maybe you have some special chair, or some people sitting on a huge ball upright. And the ball is moving, so you have to find your balance, and then you sit more upright. Or walk around, walk as much as you can. I can tell from my own experience, walking is so healthy, is so good. Any questions so far, Dr. Jekyll? What was your experience so far?
I think the tips that you brought up really make a lot of sense. And I think that people, we're in such a rush, right? We're always in a rush, running around doing this and doing that, that we have to be so cognizant of how we're bending, how we're sitting, how we're standing up, how we're reaching for things. And I know at this age that I'm a lot more cognizant of it than I was when I was younger. But do you have any comments before you continue about mindsets, maybe when we're younger and we think nothing can happen to us and we're impervious to any health problems? Anything you could share there?
Yeah, I mean, when as I said, when I was younger in sports, and I had the choice to meet a lot of sports people, and they told me after the career they suffer, most of them were suffering from back pain. And I remember I was reading a book, the autobiography of a guy, a really huge fan of, Andrew Agassi, this tennis player. I really love this crazy guy. And I remember when I wrote this book, on the first page he describes that it takes him 2 hours to get out of the bed in the morning because he's suffering from back pain. So in my early years, I faced people. I get to know people who are suffering from back pain, and so I was okay. I want to avoid this because I know life is not fun when you have back pain. Sometimes it can happen because when you have an accident, of course. But I tried to, from the beginning. What I learned is sit upright, don't sit too much, walk a lot. That's I learned from the beginning. Walking. My grandma on my father's side, not on my mom's side. She was sitting all the time like a matron. But from my father's side, she was walking all day. Always, all the time. She was walking all the time. Never took a bus because she was used to it. I remember that once, Granny, there's a bus going to this village. No, I'll walk. I have time. So walking is so important. No, we all walk. And actually, it's a kind of mindset, because that's the mindset. I mean, I did this TV show before the Mallorca connection. Then I had this short break. And I had to go to the bathroom in the break. So I could go, I don't know, 5 steps to my bathroom in my luxury motorhome. And I said, no, I'm on a camping site here. So I walk, it's 100 meters. I walk to the public bathroom to go to the toilet, because then I can walk in between. I always look for occasions to walk. Always. I walk here when I go do my shopping. I walk here when I do washing my clothes. When it's not too far away, I walk. I use every single opportunity to walk, or when sometimes when I'm sitting, I don't use an elevator. I walk. Or when I'm on the airport, I mean, even people are getting on the things flat, even on stairs, so take this. I walk, and even when I go there, I walk faster. I always walk. I love walking. I really feel good with walking, and it's so good for me. I know in the US it's a little bit different, because I don't know, you don't have this how to say, this sidewalks where people walk, because everybody's driving, so it's a little bit dangerous in the US and cities walking. But I love walking. And not just hiking, just walking. Every option, I walk. I leave the car, the motorhome, or I lift my electric bike. I walk. And because I know it's good, and I love it. It's not that I have to do it. I appreciate it. I love it. And I don't care about the weather. Just having good clothes. No, I do it because I know from the beginning it's good for my health, and I love it. It's not a must. I love it.
And you can tell that you love it. It's in your face, and it's, the whole way that you present yourself. So if we talk about supplementation for a moment, Are there certain supplements that can assist in a preventative way for, obviously you have to do exercises for your core and even for your back? There's some machines that you can, you bring your arms across your chest and you go back and that can strengthen. Is there anything we can take internally that can assist with strength?
Yeah, I mean, everything that avoids inflammation is good. So,
Turmeric.
of course, we sometimes eat food. I also, I eat food that produces inflammation. Of course, I do. So I have to balance this. First of all, I drink a lot of water. It's almost gone. Just pure water from the tap, or non-sparkling water. I drink a lot of water. And I love coffee. I avoid alcohol. Very occasionally I drink alcohol. I enjoy a glass of wine, but very occasional. So I drink water. As I said before, it's also good for your discs, the resting fluid. And then I do supplementation because I know that because I eat a lot of meat. I'm a meat eater. I'm a carnivore. I eat a lot of meat. So I supplement because I want to reduce the risk of having any inflammation in my body, because inflammation is also not very helpful for a nerve system, because back pain has different issues. You can ensure that you have an accident, or your discs because you're sitting all the time, or you lift weights is one of the other points in we come later, is when you lift something, I don't know, a box or whatever, that you do it in the wrong posture. So yeah, avoid inflammation. A lot of people are suffering from inflammation. And it's also, nutrition is also part of it. Absolutely. Yeah. Eat fruits, vegetables if you want, or meat or whatever. I want to say that I don't care if somebody is a vegetarian or a meat eater like myself. Eat clean as possible. Avoid sugar. Avoid wheat flour, like I love pasta, man. I'm Italian. I do eat pasta, to be honest, every 2-3 weeks. Every 3 weeks I enjoy a pasta, absolutely. But I eat it with a good intention, with a positive energy. Yeah, it's also important. It's not only about what we eat. It's all about what is in our mind when we eat it. We good in a good energy and a good frequency. But avoid pasta, white bread, sugar, cookies, and stuff like that. We all know that they're producing inflammation. Yeah, that's why I supplement, to reduce the inflammation in my body.
Fantastic. So what I'm thinking is, we eat food that doesn't cause inflammation. I mean, that's a tough one to do on a regular basis, but we can do it. And then we take supplements. We follow the tips that you're sharing. And then I think also, when you mentioned before about stretching, it's also good maybe in the morning to stretch, maybe in the evening to stretch. I know I got away from stretching for a long time, and I just didn't do it because I wasn't practicing yoga because I hurt my wrist. And now I'm thinking, wow, I feel so much better since I started stretching and also practicing yoga. What about specific sports? Like, yoga is not a sport per se, but yoga is really good for limbering up. And I personally like hot yoga, but anything else that you can think of that is something that people can incorporate in their daily lifestyle, since people are making all kinds of changes now, something that'll stick, that they really want to be committed to. And that starts with them first.
Yoga is good, but I practice yoga, but you need a really good yoga teacher, especially when you're suffering from back pain. You need somebody who's really trained on that and knows exactly the anatomy of your body. You really need a good yoga teacher who really can help you, because otherwise you hurt even more. Yeah, that's one thing I recommend. And I think, and as I said, the simplest form to avoid back pain and get rid of back pain is walking. Really, you don't need any equipment. You can walk everywhere, wherever you are. Walking is the simplest form. What is not helpful, because I love to play golf. When you have a back pain, golf is not a helpful one, especially when you get older, because when you swing back, it's a very unnatural movement. So golf is not the best one. Horseback riding, when you're not a good rider and you always fall into the saddle, it's not good for the horse, but it's not good for your discs too. Yeah, and some stuff like skiing or snowboarding when you're suffering from back pain, when you go fast yeah, it's also not good. But again, the best thing is just stretching slowly. When you can do it in a warm, like hot yoga, is very, very good. Absolutely. So yoga and walking, I think it is the best in the beginning, and doing some exercise that support your core muscles, building up your core muscles. But to be honest, in the beginning, it's not about playing tennis or stuff like that when you suffer from back pain, because all the small movements and you're changing positions all the time, so your spine is always moving around. I would make a break from this and really stretch, walk, build up your core muscles, and then go back to any sports art. Then you can play golf and play tennis, or I don't know, do snowboarding or whatever. But first of all, make a break and fix your back. That's the most important thing. I hope this answered your question.
Yes, it definitely did. Now, if you think about young children and the child's pose, for example, how flexible and limber babies are and little kids are, and then at some point it changes. I don't know exactly when that is, but what about incorporating some of those childlike wonders, curiosity, in terms of being open to trying new things and maybe getting rid of a lot of negative energy that can get stored in the body? That happens, right?
Absolutely, especially because we sit too much and then we worry too much. Actually, I think we think too much. We overthink too much.
Yes.
We actually, one of the mistakes we made as humans the last 2 centuries is that our brain is leading the body, not our heart anymore. We overthink too much. Yeah, that's the problem. We sit too much. We think too much. And when we think, most of the thing, it's not good what we think. I was reading a book. Actually, it's in German, but you know it. Byron Kate. Do you know Byron Kate?
No.
She's very famous in the US. I need love. Is this true? And she says in this book, whatever you think, always, whatever comes to your mind, always ask yourself, is it true what I'm thinking? We always overthink too much. No, we think too much, we sit too much, and we don't get rid of this energy, especially kids, yeah, and young adults, and the male one. We have to get rid of this energy by moving. And when you sit, you just store this energy, and then you get sick. Well, it's moving. Our human body is designed to move, not to sit. It's to move, sitting. And I said before, it's less than 200 years that we sit more. Yeah, thousands of years we've been walking around, walking around. And when we sit, we didn't sit on a chair. Sitting on a chair is one of the most unhealthy thing you can do. Is we always have been sitting, and I know many tribes do it still when you go to Africa or the Amazon or in Asia, and I do it too, is squatting. You know squatting? Sometimes
Yeah.
when I sit outside of my motorhome, when I eat something out of my bowl, or I read a book, I sit outside and squat, not sitting on a chair. Not all the time. And some people look at me, what are you doing here? I say, I'm squatting. Why are you squatting? So avoiding back pain. Try it. And most people cannot squat because their muscles are so tight. They didn't stretch enough. And I know a lot of people who are when you see it from the outside, they have a good physique, meaning they're trained, they look good. But when they come to a yoga class or they try to squat, oh my gosh. So all the muscles are so shortened. So we have to learn squatting. Squatting is very, very healthy. I love squatting. Sitting in squat and reading a book or checking my mobile phone or even eating when I'm eating something from a bowl or something like that. Yeah, squatting is so healthy.
Are you saying squatting, like squatting down, squatting?
Yeah, so my feet flat on the ground, and then your upper leg and your lower leg together.
Okay.
And you sit there. Most people cannot stay flat because their muscles are too shortened. But it's just you open your leg and then you squat down and you sit totally. So your butt is on more or less on your feet. So you really sit down, the squat, and that's so healthy. And
can you get back up?
Of course, it's easy.
Are you up on your toes, or your feet are totally flat the whole time?
Yeah, just go on YouTube and look at tribes and kids. They are squatting all the time when they eat, when they communicate, when they go to the bathroom because they don't have a toilet seat like we had. They're squatting.
Oh,
And that's it's a different topic. But most people have problems to go to the bathroom. It takes them for hours. They have a newspaper or their mobile phone. I go there, get rid of it, and I leave because they're sitting like on the chair. When they're sitting like on the chair, it's difficult for your shit to get out. So when you squat, it goes. It has to make less curves to get out of your body. I cannot explain it in English. Sorry for that. But squatting is much better on the toilet, even in the bathroom, than sitting. Google
yeah.
it. You'll find it.
No, that's a good point. It really is. Yeah. I'm laughing because I'm thinking someone I know would just sit there for hours with the newspaper and a cup of coffee and want to have conversations. Like, no, I don't think so.
I always walk. For me, what I really don't like is when I move my motorhome and have to drive 5 or 6 hours and just driving. Well, I make a break every hour just to walk around.
Yeah, it's important. It's important. Yeah. I know people who drive for a living and they have, one side of them kind of gets numb because they're just, I guess they're sitting a certain way, but it's good to get up and move around. So go ahead. I know we're coming to the end. I know you have some more that you want to share.
One more, Number 5 for me is lift correctly. Not only in the gym, but also when you have to lift something, I don't know, furniture, your grocery or whatever, lift correctly. So most people just bend down and lift stuff. That's not good. Bend your knees, go down and lift slowly. Yeah. So never ever with straight legs. Never lift with straight legs. So always bend down, bend your knees, go down on your knees, and then lift and then slowly move up the whole spine. That's lifting correctly, even in your household, the grocery. Very, very important. Lifting, or in the job when you have to lift something. So lifting. Number 6 is reduce pressure on your back when you sleep. Sounds interesting. What I mean by that is when you have back pain, the best posture in bed, and sometimes it's difficult, is lying flat on the back, and maybe you have a pillow or something under your knees, on the back of your knees. Yeah? So your upper body is flat and your knees a little bit up. You have a pillow or something like that under your knees. That is very, very helpful. So when you have back pain, it's not really good when you sleep in a side position, or so half on the stomach and the leg a little bit. That's not good. So the best posture is upper body flat, and your legs straight and your knees a little bit up. So put something under your knees. That's the best posture in sleeping. I know some people have challenging because they start snoring when you sleep on the back, but it's the best for your back. And this brings me to number 7: is watch your weight. The less weight you carry around, the worse it's for your back. Absolutely. So take care about, especially when you're overweight and obese, get rid of your weight. Get rid of the weight. It's number 1. Get rid of the weight. I mean, imagine you're losing 10 pounds or 20 pounds. I mean, people, they're overweight. They don't have any idea how much is 10 or 20 pounds. So bring a backpack, fill it, weight it, and say, okay, this is 20 pounds, and get an idea on that. And then you lift 20 pounds and say, oh my gosh, or 25 pounds or whatever. And I said, okay, can you imagine to get rid of this weight, how your body feels? Because most people, they are so used to their weight, to their overweight. So what really helps people is fill a backpack or a bag, weight enough with 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20, whatever, and weigh and get a feeling how much this really is. And this body is carrying this every day. Besides that it's more, it exhausts more your heart, because your heart has to pump more. So it's also good for your cardiovascular system. But get rid of your overweight. That's number 7, very, very important. Get rid of your overweight. And then we mentioned nutrition, we mentioned drinking, we mentioned inflammation. Quit smoking. Because smoking, besides inflammation, is how you call, sorry, in English, smoking restricts your blood flow to your discs. So there are a lot of scientific research out that smoking restricts the blood flow to your disc that cushion your vertebra. And so this will lead to a quicker disc degeneration. So quit smoking. I can highly recommend quit smoking. That's number 8. Yeah, actually, it's not a miracle. It's not rocket science. It's all about lifestyle change. Stretch. What I do in the morning before I get up, I always make I guess I talked before on another show. I do my morning routine. I do my prayers, what I'm grateful about, and then I always stretch before I get out of the bed. I always stretch, meaning what I showed: left leg, right leg, always for a few minutes, left, right, and then I also bring my knees to my chest. I whip around in my bed, and then I get up. Guys, I have a dog. I live with a dog, and before I had a cat too. When they get up, they always stretch. Look at animals. They don't jump out and run. I mean, when there's a danger, of course, when there's a predator, of course. But normally, they always stretch. And I love it. My dog is called Aloha. This Hawaiian Aloha. I always say, downward dog asala, because, when you practice yoga, there's a posture, it's called downward dog. And that's what the dog does. Yeah, they're stretching and their hips, their back is up. And I always say, aloha, downward dog asala. So dogs, cats, animals always stretch. So please stretch. Drink a lot of water. Avoid inflammation-producing food and smoking. Take care when you lift something. So always bend your knees, sleep on the back, and work on your core muscles. And then you're doing right. And then you enjoy life again, and without any subscription, without any medication, stuff like that. Yeah,
that's such a good point about the animals. I love that, because they are always stretching.
Absolutely, yeah, they do.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yes,
it's brilliant. Well, you brought a lot of great tips and wisdom, as you always do. Thank you so much. How can people work with you, and what are the services that you provide?
Actually, we do, myself and my team, we do a lot of stuff. As I said, I work for corporate business since almost 30 years. So we do trainings, consulting for international big players like Xerox, OpenText, Diebold Nixdorf, and many other big players in the world. Yeah, actually, at the moment, I work for Sage and for Diebold Nixdorf. The running online trainings, but I also see my customer in March in Lisbon for the sales summit. So I do corporate stuff a lot. I do one-to-one mentoring for people who want to have same lifestyle as myself. So on this side, you see SBS. When you click on SBS, you go to my business website. When you go on WLR, the Wireless Life Rocks, you see my mentoring website. And when you go S4M, this is Sparring for Men. This is the men's work I'm doing. So I mentor people who want to build up a location-independent remote business and travel or whatever and have a cool lifestyle. That's what I do. And I'm engaged in the men's world. I run a men's group, an English-speaking men's group that we started in the US almost 5 years now. 5 years ago. It's year number 6 now. We're still together. We meet every second Saturday online. So, yeah, if you want to contact me, feel free to contact me. The best way is go see my website and fill out the contact form, or send me direct an email. My email address is office@my name, rolandfriedl.com. I will spell it for you guys, office and then at ROLANDFRIEDL.com. office@rolandfriedl.com. That's the best way. Let's connect. I guess it's all about sharing and caring in this world, and that's why I highly appreciate Dr. JACALYN's work here on USA Global TV and Radio to build up this platform where many other amazing colleagues in different topics share their wisdom and experience. So it's all about sharing and caring. Feel welcome to connect with me and my colleagues, and see you next week when I'm back. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Roland. We'll look forward to seeing you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Please do reach out to Roland. He has so many ways that he can help you. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we've actually been working together for 3.5 years. I consider him to be a dear friend, and he definitely can help you sort through any issues. And if you're looking to start a new business, or you have an existing business, or you're a man and you're looking for someone to just listen, he's the one to turn to. All right, let's take an opportunity to watch some of our sponsorships. Please do stay tuned, and we'll be back with our next show. Thank you.
Have you ever felt unheard? Like your words float into a void? leaving you invisible and disconnected? How about feeling judged, when assumptions overshadow your truth, leaving you misunderstood and defensive? And then there's that moment when someone offers solutions you never asked for, dismissing your feelings and leaving you more frustrated than before. It doesn't have to be this way. Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, the listening mentor, understands. She's here to help you reclaim your voice, build stronger connections, and create meaningful conversations that inspire understanding and mutual respect. Through her groundbreaking books, online and in-person courses, and interactive workshops, you'll learn how to navigate life's most challenging interactions. Discover the power of elevated listening and transform how you communicate. Master setting boundaries and asking permission to protect your peace. Learn to recognize and release judgment, fostering empathy and true connection. Dr. KERBECK also offers personalized coaching, one-on-one or group sessions designed to fit your unique needs. Whether in person or virtually on StreamYard, her guidance will empower you to thrive. You don't have to struggle alone. The path to deeper connections and better relationships start here. Visit drjacalyn.com or usaglobaltv.com. Join a global community of empowered listeners and transform your life, one meaningful conversation at a time. Dr. JACALYN KERBECK is the listening mentor. Start your journey today. Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.